Hello and welcome to Crafting with me, Miss Wells. I'm so happy you're here. Let's take a look at the project we'll be working on. You will need some scissors for cutting, some glue, it doesn't matter which kind. I had glue stick. If you have white glue or hot glue, that works too. You'll need some colored paper. First, we're going to choose a color for our background or our loom of our project. I chose black. You can choose any color that you want. First, we're going to start by folding our paper in half in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Once you have it folded, you can kind of crease the line, and then you're going to turn the paper so that the bottom crease is facing you. Then we are going to cut some long strips, but don't cut all the way to the end because that will just cut off the piece of paper. So you're going to leave a few inches at the very end of your cuts. So you're going to cut slits all the way across to the very end. They don't have to be perfectly straight or perfectly evened out, but you can try to do that if you want to. Cut, 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 cutting, cutting, cutting. Once you have finished, your paper will look like this with all the slits going down the side. You can open it up and then turn it so that the paper is vertical. Next, we are going to grab some other colors of paper. You can use as many colors or as little colors that you want. You're going to grab your scissors and cut these into some long strips. Just make sure that your strips are the same length, if not longer, than the loom that we've just finished cutting. These don't have to be perfectly straight either. We're going to take our first color and we're going to bring it over to the loom and we're going to weave it in between all of the strips that we've cut. So we're going to start by going under and then pull your strip of paper over the next piece and then under the next piece and then over the next and under in an alternating fashion, and then kind of move it up to the top. Then we can grab our next strip of paper and we're going to do this one in the opposite way. So this time we're going to start from going underneath and then over and then under and over. So it's going on in the opposite way than we did with the first one. Then you can grab another piece of paper. You can do a pattern if you want to. You can make it random, however you want your weaving to be. I chose to do a pattern for mine. So we're going to keep going over and under. You might need to push your piece of paper up so that they are all in line, unless you intentionally wanted to leave a bit of a space in between your pieces of paper. When you're finished, it's going to look something like this. Can you tell the pattern that I made? You're going to have little bits sticking out at the end. So we're going to need to glue these down next. Otherwise, they're just going to fall out. So get your glue and put some glue underneath each of the little tabs at the end and secure them down. Once you're done that side, go over to the next side and glue those down in the same way as well. After you're finished those ones, you're going to want to flip your page over and get all the ones from the back so they're nice and secure. If some of your strips of paper were a little long, they might be hanging off the edge. You can use your scissors to cut them off. Now, let's get creative. We can experiment by doing different types of lines on our initial loom. So as you can see here, I kind of cut my lines in a squiggly fashion. Remember, don't cut off the top. We want to make sure the paper is still all attached. I'm going to cut those all the way across, and it's going to look something like this. And open it up, and now I'm going to grab my pieces of paper that I cut into strips, and I'm going to weave it through under and over and under and over, and I'm going to do this all the way across with all of my different strips of paper, and it's going to turn out something like this. The squiggly lines added a lot of texture. We can also experiment by using different widths of our strips. So as you can see, I did some of my strips thick and then some of them thin to add a little differentiation. You can use different kinds of paper. You can use patterned paper. I used a page of an old book, a page of an old atlas, some wrapping paper. Just make sure you have permission to cut things up. Don't cut anything that you're not allowed to. You can see here that I used different papers, and then I even glued some down just straight across that I didn't weave to add a little bit of difference. You can flip through some magazines for some pictures. You could cut them out and make a collage on top of your weaving. I found a cool picture that I liked, so I thought, yeah, I'm gonna glue this right on top and make a collage. Again, make sure you have permission to cut from magazines. You could also make a card out of your finished product. I just glued on some words, a piece of paper that I wrote on to make a cool card. I also made a bookmark by using a different size and some smaller pieces of paper. Now I have an awesome bookmark. Woo! I hope you have as much fun experimenting with this project as I did. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna get back to weaving. Bye!